Welcome to the fifth episode of Virtual Heritage Tour Saipal. Today we'll be heading to Saipal in far western Nepal. I am Nishaloli from the British Council. I'll be introducing the program today and our tour leader, Bhoj Raj Bhat. Virtual Heritage Tours are part of the Our Dream City campaign, designed by StoryCycle with the British Council to empower youth and community narratives around development of their localities. It equips initiators with digital tools, arts, and a platform to engage their community as well as wider civic processes. For details, please visit dreamcities.org or storycycle.com. Now, some information about the format of the session today. We will hand over to our leader who will be presenting to you about 25 to 30 minutes. After the presentation, we'll take your questions from the comments section here or from Facebook, where this is being streamed live. We will release the recorded version of the tour on StoryCycle's website soon after the session. Please do keep your mics off, on mute, and your videos also off. You can pin the presentation screen to have it fill the screen, your screen, computer screen, or phone screen for optimum viewing. Please just note to make that there will be a feedback form shared at the very end of the session. Hope you can take time to fill that out and give us your feedback. Now, an introduction of the tour leader. Bhoj Raj Bhat is a storyteller, a journalist who spent over a decade working to cover Maoist insurgency in Nepal. He has worked for several news outlets and has also served as the editor of Global Nepal Patrika, which was printed simultaneously in Kathmandu, London, and Sydney. He is the recipient of Asian Football Confederation's Dream Asia Award 2020. Born and brought up in Kailali district in far western Nepal, Mr. Bhat has traveled extensively through Nepal to cover real stories of people during the insurgency period. When the conflict ended, he quit journalism and began on his journey as a filmmaker. His debut effort, Sunakali, Teenage Girl's Journey to Glory, opened to rave reviews. The film is about the extraordinary journey of young girl footballers from impoverished, socially backward Mugu district who, against all odds, go on to win a major regional sports tournament. Sunakali has won over 40 international awards and has been screened in 85 countries till date. Mr. Bhat is now working on his second project, Mission Saipal, which documents a journey of four young girls of Bazang district who are on a mission to climb Mount Saipal to challenge the Chopadi Pratha tradition that is widely prevalent in the region. Mr. Bhat will share more about his film during the presentation. Over to Mr. Bhat to continue. Thank you.
Hello, namaste everybody. First of all, I would like to give you some information about Mount Saipal. You are most welcome to the Saipal areas. Saipal is the second highest the mountain of far western region, and it lies 7,031 meter high. If the local people believe the mountain of Saipal is like an incarnation of Lord Shiva, and it has a mythical connection with the Mount Kailas of Tibet. The word the Saipal delivered as a Sai means is like the pasture land, and the Pal means is a sheep. Is a Sai and Pal is Saipal. If the Saipal is the big pasture land in the western part of the Saipal, it's near to the Uray Pass. It's the Nepal-Tibet border range. After that, we can see the map. The Saipal region sits the boundary of the Karnali and Sudupashi province across the Karnali river from the Humla side. It lies entirely the Bazan district, but can be accessed from Dachula, Bajura, and Humla as well. The tourism potential, the high potential of these areas, because the last year we have more than 1.2 million the tourists came to the whole Nepal. But Unfortunately, in the Saipal region, less than the 1 dozen tourists been there. So, but the Saipal has the immense tourism potential. It's a natural geography and rich cultural rich, and it's a quite different areas, different land, and different languages. It is like the Western people can be a benefit from these tourism areas. The area with the west of from the Putha city, the Thaulagiri third, only the Dolpur, Limi Valley, Rara Lake, after getting some of the tourists. The mainly due to the lack of the accessibility, the lack of the marketing of promotion in these areas, the rare tourists being there. Now we are going to tell you about the tentative map of the Saipal exploration circuit. We are exploring this route as part of the Mission Saipal expedition. This route goes to for the 4 base camp from the Mount Saipal and all the Tibet border and the Uray Pass. It covers the district of Sudur Pasim province. It's like there are the 9 districts of Sudur Pasim province, and this Saipal circuit cover the 8 districts except the Bachelor. Together with the government of Sudur Pasim province, we have a plan to standardize this trial as a Great Himalaya trial guidelines and promote these areas as in a national or international market. Normally, the Saipal have a 4 routes to reach to be there. The first two we have to go from Dachula through the Alpi, the highest, the mountain of the forestern areas. And this is the Alpi Nampa conservation after the passing the 2 passes. And this is the best camp we can reach from the Humla side also. If you go from the Humla side, the flying to the Simicot, crossing to the Kanali River, and to reach the Chala village and crossing the Sangalaka Pass to reach this Karankhola, and after that the Karankhola we can be here. This is the best camp, and this is Rai Dunge base camp from Badan district, driving to Talkot and Halol, Kakarkot, Dodale, and we can see the Rai Dunge. And the third this is the most beautiful areas of Saipal, and we can go from Bajra district, driving through the Kolti, following the Kawadi Khola, and to reach the this Aranisena base camp. And this is the areas where we can see the 4th base camp. We can call this Aulagat base camp. Aulagat base camp is we have to go from Kathmandu to Bachan to driving to Talkot, walking through Thalon, Kakarkot, and finally to be there in Aulagat base camp. Today we are going to follow this route, and today we are going to follow this route because this is the most nearest and accessible for the common people. The journey begins to an hour-long flight from Kathmandu to Hangadi. From here, the jeep ride around the 4 hours to Hangadi to Adadandura. We can stay at Adadandura also. And after that, the road is narrow and winding, and we can be reached in Chainpur, the district headquarters of Basan district. And the tomorrow morning, we take a road to Talkot. The distance is 12 kilometers. It takes about 3 hours. It's off-road. But this is very strategic road for the federal government as it aim to connect with the Mount Kailash via Raksha Uday Pass. This, I think, after the 5 to 10 years, the master plan, and this road will be built up. And we can see this the Talkot Palace. This is the palace of Talkot, the Zangi king. The local people still respect the king as a cultural symbol because there are some festivals that they have to. The king should have to be participate as in the cultural way. And those who are going to the Saipal, they should have to be meet with the king and to find the auspicious day to the departure and to the way of how to go to take authorization from God, and he can give advice to us. In every the same festival is this October November time, and we can see the Thalkot festival, and it's the same festival. It's near the 2 days festival. We can see a lot of the people gather and performing the traditional song, Devda dance, and local dress. It's colorful, and they used to come. These places is like getting entertainment. And after the Talkot, this is the area where we start from our the journey to the first day trekking from here from Talkot. And the first day is not so hard because it's like plain areas. You go, uh, the it's not a high areas, and you can see the trial level full of the greenery. And in the spring season, we can see the lot of the rhododendron full of the flower in the jungle. After the 5 hours walk from Thalpur, the first day stop over. This is the first stopover of Saipal trail. This is called Jarlik. We can see the Raksha mountain from this area. This is the Nepal-Tibet border, and we can see the very musical sound about the Sith River roaring below these areas. The next day, the next day we can see Thalon village, because after the from after 4 or 5 hour walk, and we can go to see that this village is very slopey, and the land is Thalon, one of the largest and culturally rich village of Saipal rural municipality. And this village has the main income sources Yasa Gumba collection, animal husbandry, and farming is the main occupation of the people are here. We can see the farmer heading the livestock of the alone in this photo. The rear mountain goats and sheep, mainly wool and meat. The higher area of the mountain is goat and sheep. Okay, I'm going to introduce these areas about the different culture and different religion. The most interesting thing is the religion is like Mostro. This is the Mostro temple of the village. The Mostro is the cult of the Hinduism, but it's not a pure form of Hinduism, but it is a more ancient form of Hinduism. It believes that the ancestral deity of Khas or the Khasare people, they have there has to be pleased with the salmon and chanting the mantra and beating the drums. If the mantra is pleased, the god will possess the body of the salmon and performing dances and the activities like licking or horn feeding or among the others. And this motto, when the motto is performing, and motto can tell the truth about the future, about the past incident, about the way how to have the solution. This is like the you can have a direct contact with the master. So this is the salmon dance. It's the eastern part of the Mount Saipal. Actually, this is the salmon dance in the Humla village. And there is a belief that if you want to go in Saipal areas, and you have to they take a special permission from Langa Devata is Langa God. It's Langa God is a incarnation of Lord Shiva, and it is believed that the Langa deity has the guards and the high passes. Everyone going to a high mountain areas has to be worship the Langa temple. And there is the people that the sacrifice the procedure is very interesting. The shaman kill the animal by using his teeth and offer the blood to the god. And the fact is, if you offer more than the 50 or 100 of the goats, the shaman should have to cut these goats within the 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. This is the limitation of time. So this is after that, the people will have a strong belief that okay, there is a real god inside the mustard, inside the salmon. And the first view of Saipal, we can see if you go a little bit high of the Tharan village, in the top of the village, and we can see the first view of the Saipal. This is called the Langa, the face of Langa, Langul Sai, the face of Saipal. And this the southern face of Saipal is background is the reeds, the pine trees, and it's like we can see here as a single mountain. But if you go into the near to the Saipal, we can see a different view of the Saipal. After a short walk from Dhalon, and the trail drops to the Sethi River, it follows the course of the trip to the base camp. It's no proper trail. The visitor will follow the trail used by the Yasa collector or the local peoples, and they have to follow the route of the bank of the river. River crossing in the difficult areas is so dangerous, and some of the places we have no option to go but to crawl and wooden logs. At the bridge is two bank of the river. In the past, we have some bad experience. We listen some bad experience in the past. Some experience still have returned just because there is no bridge on the river. We can see a very good, beautiful waterfall. This is called Chitka waterfall, one of the highest waterfall in the region. And the last time we operated a drone in here, and its waterfall is on a 1.5 kilometer up. It's so interesting, so beautiful waterfall on this type of region. We can see after the short walk from Chitta waterfall, we can see the temporary camp of the hop collector. It's always been bringing with the collectors and the traders, except during the winter month. The people collect and process sell the medicinal house to the traders. Medicinal house is one of the largest source of the income of these local areas. And actually, this is not the legal way. The people used to come and stay here more than 9 months and do it as illegal way. But nobody is going to check it. Nobody is going to be regulate these people. After that, this is the Dodale. We can see a little limits of two rivers. One river is coming from Raidunge, another river is coming from Aunagar, and today we are going to follow the Aunagar base camp, while the Raidunge will follow the trail is Aunagar. This is the first view of the Aunagar. This is the trail of the Aunagar base camp. You can see some of the tree in the picture. It's very rare to find above the 4,000 meters. But here we find a bridge trees, among others, in the evidence. The forest, however, is depleting fast as the asset collector, the fill these trees. They cut the trees during the asset collector times and to make a firewood. This is the view of Onagar base camp. It's so nice view, and there is a small waterfall inside this the base camp. And this is the easy way to survive, to take water in the near to the water source. And we have heard from the porters that after the 18 years later, we established these camps in these Onagar areas. And this is, you can see the lot of the tent here. These are erected by the Mission Saipal team to sort to have the filming expedition team. We can see a lot of the pasture land. As we already told you about the meaning of the Yarsa, meaning about this Saipal, meaning the Sai and Pal. There's a lot of the pasture land, and this pasture land is the main resource of the Yarsa Kumbha. These alpine areas of Nepal, from the one of the best habitat of Yarsa Kumbha here, is half fungus and half caterpillar, which is believed to be a high value of this medicine. And the people have a main income source about this Yarsa Kumbha. After the base camp, we are going to see you visit the high camp. This is the route of the high camp of Mount Saipal. It took around 4 or 5 hours to go in the high camp, around 5,500 meters high. This is the high camp. You can see the face of the Saipal rising in the background. And however, the trail is the first drops to the glacier, not seen in the picture. And again, we can see the different mood of the Saipal here. And after that, I'm going to tell you. So this is the picture. This is the view of the Saipal camp. See the picture where it's our crew member before attend the peak. And I'm going to tell you about the history of the Mount Saipal. It's like the first known the attempt the Mount Saipal is as listed in the Himalayan data research. And as we seen there, is the first is attempted by Dr. Herbert Tichy in 1953. And he was unsuccessful, and later he became a first person to stand on the Choyu summit. This picture is our Dr. Jorge is our the expedition team leader. He is like the genius, the great person, and who has a medical background, and he was a team leader of our mission. And I'm going to tell you the history of the Saipal is more than the 1.5 dozen of the Saipal expedition has been attempted, and some of them they claim themselves as a we've been in Utah. 3 or 4 cases have been they claim themselves, but in the Nepal Tourism Department, and there is no official record of to be on the top of the Saipal. As we knew, the Saipal range Saipal is the range. It's like they might be on the 6,900 meters, but after the 200 meters, there is a very dangerous and very this more harmful because the most of as I know that still up to the now more than 2 dozen people been killed during the expedition. They have been died during the expedition. And this Saipal, many of the tourists came here. Some of the tourists came here Saipal for ski. And this ski, the local the Pazangi kids that are playing with the ski boat here. And there are the ski expedition in different times. The latest ski expedition was made by the American climber in 2018. We can see the full of myth of Saipal. The Saipal is believed like the great religious significance. The Saipal has a great connection with the Mount Kailash. And this photo is the Saipal. We can see this photo from Badi Malika. The Malika is believed to be the eldest 16 sisters of the Muslim, who is all the side of the hilltop and of course the Sudur Pasim and Karnali province. We can see this Saipal not only belongs to the far west, it also belongs to Karnali province also. If you go to the Rara Lake, and you can see this photo has been grabbed from Google Earth and from Dumgadi, Talcha Airport, and Rara Lake, and Saipal is the behind, just the giant mountain. It's like a Mount Saipal. And it's like we can see the 3 views, it's like Sunakali, Firan Cove, and Saipal here, views. We can see the view from Kapta National Park, and this is the left hand is Sunapani, the middle one is Firan Cove, and the right one is Saipal. If you see the little bit small one, there's the 6,900 meters, and which the face is seen from Humla side, and the people say that okay, this is the top. Actually, this is not top. You see, if you go in the 4 phases of Saipal, we can see the different of the top. Actually, the summit is 7,031 meters high. We can see the Saipal is the people believe like the Saipal has a connection with the Mount Kailash and Mount Manasarovar. This is the picture is taken from Mount Kailash. It's the 5,500 meter high, and this will only this photo is has been taken by a Japanese photographer. So the wide area of the mountain peak, the Parashni Himalaya, and the middle one is Rakshata, and another peak is from Mount Api to Jetivaram. There are more than a dozen of the peak, so we can see here, but we cannot see Mount Saipal from this place because on the way to Mount Saipal and Mount Kailash, there is a Gurula Mandata. This is 7,600-meter high Himalaya. If you this is the Google Earth snaps, and we can see the how the connection with the Mount Kailash and Manas Sarovar and Mount Saipal. There is a direct connection with the. This is the people say that somehow the highly blessing from Mount Kailash blessed to the Mount Saipal, and Mount Saipal blessed to the different areas where for example, Mount Saipal blessed to Khapkar, Mount Saipal blessed to Rara, Mount Saipal blessed to Badimalika. Those who are on the top of the areas, very interestingly, on the top of the areas where we can see the view from Mount Saipal, is all are either from the Mosto god or there are some of the temples related with the goddess like Surma Sarovar, like a Badi Malika, like a Gratara, like a Shaileshwari, like a 16 sister of the Mostos. This is also the view of from if we go in the top of Mount Saipal, we can see on the right side the far horizon, but it's not Rakshastal, it's Manas Sarovar. According to the Mahabharata, we have listened to many things about the myth about the Mahabharata. After ruling the 30 years of the Mahabharata, Panchpanda, and they left towards the final stages of the life towards the Mount Kailash, and the local people believe that this Panchpanda went to Mount Kailash through Mount Saipal. And some of the people say that the four brothers and one wife they died during their journey is near to the Mount Saipal, because it is also the fact that if we cross the Mount Saipal the range, and after that there is not so the high peak, and we have go to the bank of the river and crossing easily to be near to the Manas Sarovar, and after the Manas Sarovar, and you can go easily to the Mount Kailash areas. I'm going to tell you about why we been there. Why we've been in Mount Saipal twice a time, because of we are making a movie of Mission Saipal. And I'm going to tell you about the Mission Saipal is not coming immediately, because it's the background of Sunakali. When I made a Sunakali in 2015, and everybody praised my efforts and telling the unfold stories about the Mount side. It's like the filming show, the numerous film awards around the world. Even the FIFA promoted my movie, given the title Himalayan Messi. It helped me to recognize worldwide. Even the last year, I got the Asian Football Confederation, and they gave me an award like Dream Asia 2019. In these photos, and we can see the transformation of the Sunakali about the young girls of Mugu and the men, my characters, and being here is how the women is changing, because she got a chance to be to got a training in Athletic Bilbao in Spain, and she got a chance to study the higher college in Kathmandu, Little Angel College, and all the two girls also came to Kathmandu for 2 years, and after that also the Sunakali, the junior Sunakali, we took them the under 14 the team girls from junior Sunakali to participate in domestic cup. They visit in Barcelona studio. They visit in Athletic Bilbao stadium. And can you imagine that girls who are playing in the snow field and they got a chance to visit to play in the international the match is domestic cup in 2018. After the success of the Sunakali, I forced to make another story. So I'm looking about my own story. It's like where I grew up, seeing the mountain and tears. When I came to know that women are buried to climb the Mount Saipal. Then I thought that I should have to make a movie to surrounding about this menstruation. I felt found the story about the next movie, and I give the title is the Mission Saipal. Mission Saipal is a story about the four girls who defeat the struggling about the social taboo about in south region of Saipal, and they're fighting their family and never become ready to go to Saipal. These girls came from different social economic background, but they are having in the common discrimination like women facing the society. Women are not allowed to go there. Every household is would have to be worked by women. This is the film to follow the journey of glory, of the lots of ups and downs and traumas, and we can see some of the story to compare to the other society, the women life, and how the four girls are struggling with the society, and we're trying to support the girls to come and give them training, give them provide them mountaineering training and languages and other training, and meeting in the different political levels and different stakeholders. And after that, we are going to share you about how the girls from Chaupadi areas, the girls from far western part of Nepal, the girls from south region of the Saipal, and the face even the menstruation period, they are facing a lot of problems because they are not allowed to climb the mountain because they are impure. Why they are impure? Because they are in menstruation period. So they are trying to set up their mind, try to be going against the society perception. They want to prove to go in the top of the Mount Saipal, and they want to show that we are not impure. We are like men, and we have this story because we are following this story since 3 years. Before concluding with my this presentation, I want to give you the brief update about Mission Saipal. We have completed nearly two-thirds shooting. We organized an expedition to Saipal in 2018. Unfortunately, it was unsuccessful, and we were preparing for the second expedition, the spring season of 2020. And we had already secured the fund, but the COVID-19 exploited our destiny, everything, and we are hopeful the organizing expedition in autumn or next spring season. The film will be released in end of 2021 or 2022, the beginning of 2022. So I'm going to finish my presentation. Thank you for listening and watching my presentation. If you have any query, I'll be happy to respond to your